Good afternoon and welcome to the OOH-RAH Report. I'm your host, Anthony Cavaretta, and today we are talking about Friday Night Smackdown. We are 2 weeks away from Fastlane, so this is the second to last show of Smackdown before we actually get to the pay-per-view, which will be the first pay-per-view on the network and on Peacock. So yeah, this is kind of a big show for WWE coming up, and it will set up whatever we get at Wrestlemania, which, yeah, there has been a lot of backstage debate on what that WrestleMania card will look like, but based on what we've seen, especially from tonight's show, we are going to get to see that, kind of take shape. So the show opens up not with Roman Reigns, but with the 2021 Royal Rumble winner, Edge, and he comes out and he basically does a good job about putting himself over and really kind of addressing what has been going on between Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and himself leading up to WrestleMania. He basically goes out and he says, yeah, I haven't been out here week to week, but I worked for decades going up against guys like The Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H. Like, he has run the gambit of legends he's faced over his time in the company. And yeah, this was a good promo from Edge. We know Edge can do a really good promo, but to see him do this, especially for the two guys whom he's going to face, he may face both at WrestleMania. We don't know if that's the plan yet, because there isn't anything set in stone yet. But we do know Edge will be in that Universal Championship match, whether it'll be I'm sorry, not Orton. It'll be Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan or both. We don't know yet. But based on what we see at the end of the show, it leads me to believe that there is something more coming down the pipeline for WrestleMania for Edge than just a single one-on-one championship match, and I'll get to that later. So after that, we get some, shenanigans, and we lead into an 8-man tag match between the Street Profits and the Mysterios as they basically defeat Rude, Ziggler, Otis, and Chad Gable, which it kind of bothers me that Otis is now kind of a heel, as teaming with Gable, and they've been kind of crapping on the Mysterios the past few weeks, and I don't necessarily like it, but also that the way that it's going, it's like, okay, I'm interested to see, because the SmackDown tag division isn't really that strong at the moment, so to see these 4 teams kind of be the only ones entrenched with each other is leading me to believe that we will see a Fatal 4-Way tag match at Mania, because I do think the Profits need their rematch against Rude and Ziggler, because most of the time I forget that Ziggler and Rude are even tag champions at this point, because they just randomly beat the Street Profits, and we didn't really get to see the blow off to that feud just yet, and the Mysterios kind of feel like they're just spinning their wheels a little bit here with this feud with Otis and Gable, so I think throwing them into the tag team championship picture right before Mania will kind of just fill out the card a little bit more. But once again, we don't really know how that's going to look. But, this match was good, really nice showing by the Profits, and showing once again why they are probably the best tag team on television right now. And, yeah, and, following that right up, we had an extremely painful segment from Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Reginald, which it really made me contemplate watching SmackDown ever again. Like, it really did. It was just really painful to watch. It's the whole segment was Nia Jax taking Reginald to get a new suit, and Shayna Baszler's just sitting there on her phone in pure disgust of what's going on. And yeah, that leads into what we see from them the whole night, what we see from Sasha and Bianca the whole night, and I'm just like, oh, it's so predictable at this point that it's just kind of pointless in my opinion. But yeah, then we have a nice commercial break after that, and we go into our next match, which is Cesaro versus Murphy, Take 2. This match was broken up last week by, Seth Rollins, and this match, once again, it basically you can copy and paste it from last week, because Rollins comes out at the beginning of the match, and he sits on the stage, and then he ends up disqualifying Cesaro by the end of this, and he almost, he tries to break his neck on a chair with a stomp, and I like where this is going. I'm interested to see where Murphy fits in all this, because what I think they're trying to do, and at least in what I'm seeing, is that they're trying to get Cesaro to snap and join Rollins, which is kind of what happened with Murphy, because if everybody can think back to, pre-pandemic, WWE, the whole Murphy, joining Seth Rollins, that came about because he couldn't beat Aleister Black, which we never got that resolved, but that's a whole story for another time. But we didn't get that. So to see Cesaro, but Cesaro keeps winning his matches. That's the only thing that makes it different to me, is that Cesaro keeps winning his matches and he keeps beating Murphy. Now, I know we're probably going to get Rollins versus Cesaro, but now they've added another wrinkle to this. As after the match, Rollins goes back through the curtain, and who's standing there waiting for him with a grin on his face? None other than Shinsuke Nakamura. And, okay, once again, you're setting the seeds up for something down the road. What that may be, I don't know. But I would like to see, I'm down to see Rollins versus Cesaro. I'm sorry, Rollins versus Shinsuke. And Rollins versus Cesaro is going to be an amazing match too. Whether we get that at Fastlane or they wait the whole time and go to Mania with it, I don't know. But I think if you're really going to do this, the rumors being that you're going to have a ladder match for the Intercontinental Champion with 7 guys, I think throwing this feud into that would be a no-brainer at this point. But I don't see that happening, especially what we see between Big E and Apollo Crews later in the night as well. So after that, we get a short and sweet tag match after some storyline progression, as we had the KO show right after the segment between Rollins and Shinsuke. And the KO show basically is Sasha and Bianca. They come out. It's the normal shtick that we've been seeing from them. And Shayna and Nia come out. This was obviously being built up to with the small video package before, and this becomes a tag match between Sasha and Bianca against Natalya and Tamina. And I don't know where Natalya and Tamina come in with all this, but they have a claim to the tag championships now. That's a little confusing for me. But then again, you have the tag champions aren't set on one show anymore. They are set on the main roster. That was made official on Wednesday. But we haven't really seen, the tag teams really jump between shows. Like everybody, like Lana and Naomi got a tag title shot on Monday. So where is the, and we know that the belts aren't going to go off Shayna and Nia until probably Fastlane or after Fastlane. So where do all these other teams come in? Like why would you have these other teams compete against them, be in the quote unquote title picture if you know where the storyline is going to go? That to me is one of the big problems with the women's tag titles, and I've said that week in and week out on this show. And I haven't really gotten any progression from anybody, from any team, to be like, okay, this team is a number one contender. No, it just kind of seems like whoever they want to throw into a tag team and make them fight Nia and Shayna, that's who we're going to get. But once again, all right. So yeah, the match ends quick and easy. Bianca wins, and we get some more shenanigans over Reginald and all that. I don't really like the fact that Reginald's going to be that deciding factor next Sunday. I really don't. I feel like that's kind of, defeating the purpose of this feud, because this feud is being used to set up more heat for Sasha and Bianca. Who's the better woman out of the two? That's what this feud is going to be. My question is, why do we need to throw the tag belts and Reginald into this when you could just have it be, as they said in the promo tonight, Sasha, I paved the road you walk on. So what makes you think you're better than me? And Bianca basically being like, yeah, and I'm better than you, period. I don't know why you need to throw in all these convoluted things with the women's tag belts, add Nia and Shayna, add Reginald. It doesn't make sense to me. If you want to do this feud, and you want to do it right, and I've said you can do it right. I've been saying that since before Bianca won the Rumble. And I had Bianca as the winner for the Rumble for months now. Just have these two, let them be the charismatic selves, their charismatic selves that they are, and just have them go. Just have them go. That's all you need them to do. But no, we got to have the Shawn Michaels, John Cena, WrestleMania 23 build, where you basically just have the two of them probably going back and forth. They'll probably win the tag belts. They'll probably lose the tag belts the next week on Smackdown, and just that's it. That's what the feud's going to be. All right, whatever. But yeah, that's why it annoys me, is that you don't really need this, yet you're going to have it. So yeah, then after that, Big E comes out, and he comes out. He's a house of fire right away. You know, the promo he gives to Apollo Crews is, you know, the biggest babyface, angry, you know, promo I've seen in such a very long time. And it's just really good coming from him. And he basically is like, you want it, come and get it. You want the IC title, come and get it right now. And of course, Apollo doesn't come out, so he issues an open challenge. Corbin comes out, which is like, okay. Zayn immediately runs out and just gets in. He's like, whoever gets in the ring first gets an IC championship match. So Zayn just books in, and yeah, we get an impromptu IC title match between Zayn and Big E. Once again, Big E doing his thing. Good match between these two. Apollo comes in and DQs Big E. So that sets up, you know, and then Apollo beats down on Big E. And, you know, that's good. And I like the fact that Apollo did that. You know, no spears, no guards, none of that stuff that, you know, I didn't really enjoy from last week's SmackDown. But, yeah, you know, let him be a badass. And for him to go up against Big E, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm really hoping that we get that match, singles match at Mania. I know right now there's a lot of other storylines that could be inserted into the IC title picture and would be good, but I think if you want to do this match justice, if you want to do these two guys justice, you give them a singles match and just let them go at it, and it should be a phenomenal match. It could be a show stealer at WrestleMania if given the opportunity. So yeah, once that's done, we get to our main event segment of the night, which is Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan get the contract signing. So this is basically every contract signing you've seen, and then some. So yeah, you know, the contract signed, Daniel Bryan throws some shade at Roman Reigns, where he just basically goes, you know, I'm better than you, and you can't beat me. Roman gets upset, signs the contract, gives it to Adam Pearce, match is official. Cool. Right after that, Edge comes out and he throws a little fun into it, where he tells Jey Uso, you and me next week. Edge finally wrestles on SmackDown in years, and the winner gets to be a special enforcer at Fastlane. So that's where I kind of see them going with this, where we don't necessarily know what Mania is going to hold. Because if now you have a special guest referee thrown in the mix at Fastlane, it's going to be a screwy finish. There's no way it's not a screwy finish. But yeah, we're going to get some type of shenanigan finish at Fastlane. Does this set up a fatal 4-way at Mania? Does this set up something else? Does it set up a triple threat? We don't know. But you've now got my interest, because now, you know, we thought that Daniel Bryan was going to be the stepping stone for Reigns to fight Edge. But now what's the mix? What's going to happen? And yeah, that's what, you know, you got me intrigued to watch Fastlane. So they're doing their job. So yeah, SmackDown, gotta say, SmackDown was a really good show this week. I think, you know, coming off of the heels of the steel cage match from last week, there was a lot of expectations of, like, is this going to be, you know, a main event focused show again? Or are we going to get some more storyline development heading into Fastlane? And I think we did get a lot more storyline progression towards Fastlane, and a lot of seed planting for WrestleMania, which I like to see. You know, you are almost a month away from WrestleMania. So now we kind of need to start seeing it's a 2-night event. We need to see what's gonna be the big thing for night 1. What's gonna be the big SmackDown stuff for night 2. And I think they started to get everybody, you know, the gears turning in most viewers' heads heading into that. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think the build for Fastlane is set in stone? Do you think the Mania build is set in stone? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit the like and subscribe button. They do go a long way, and I will see you all here next time on the OOH-RAH Report.